So you were watching the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase and you saw a game that a lot of people were losing their mind over. And it wasn't even an original game, it was a remake of a Disney Mickey Mouse game that lots of people have been losing their mind over. The main question you have in your heads is, what's this Epic Mickey game? And why have so many people been going nuts over this game? I understand, this game is no spring chicken. It came out on the Wii back in 2010, which now has been 14 years ago, and the sequel, which came out in 2012, which that has been 12 years ago. And this is why you, the viewer, clicked on this video, because you want to know what the game Epic Mickey is. And I, Rocket456, as my duty as a mega fan of this franchise, will answer that question. You also may get to find out what happened. So let's get into this. I'm Rocket456, and this is Epic Mickey. So first things first, let's start off with the concept of this game and who is behind it. Epic Mickey's premise is about a world created by the sorcerer Yen Sid from the segment in Fantasia, The Sorcerer's Apprentice. This world is called Wasteland, where all the cartoon characters from Disney that had been forgotten by the general public have been sent to live. One day, Mickey goes through his mirror and enters Yen Sid's workshop. There, he grabs the magic paintbrush that Yen Sid used to create Wasteland and starts to mess around. But because of him messing around, he accidentally creates a monster called the Blot. Mickey does the best he can to clean up the mess he made and runs away. Little did he know, the Blot did not die, and he entered the Wasteland, causing what the residents in the Wasteland call the Finner Disaster. Months later, the Blot comes back with a vengeance and drags Mickey from his bed and straight into the Wasteland. Eventually, Mickey and Disney's most famous forgotten character Oswald, the Lucky Rabbit, team up to go against the Blot. The concept of Epic Mickey is, in some regards, more famous than the actual game. The idea of Epic Mickey came from a Disney think tank during 2003. They pitched the idea to then COO Bob Iger for a Disney game starring Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. At the time though, Disney did not own the rights to Oswald. Universal did, because originally Walt Disney worked for NBC Universal during the time of the Alice cartoons and then the Oswald cartoons. This led to once Bob Iger became CEO of the Walt Disney Company to strike a deal with NBC Universal. They traded famous sportscaster Al Michaels for the rights of Oswald, which NBC Universal agreed. So Disney now has the rights back to the character, which then Bob Iger still remembered that pitch of a video game starring Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Then Disney hires an upcoming studio called Junction Point, with the main leader being Warren Spector, the creator of Deus Ex and System Shock. Disney then pitches the idea of the game to Warren, which in a crazy coincidence, Warren Spector actually turned out to be an animation buff and was crazy into doing this game. And the rest is history. Warren, his team, went on to create the now classic game Epic Mickey. Now why I said the concept of Epic Mickey is more famous than the game was because of the insane concept art that was leaked before the release. Now when I say insane, I mean insane. Take a look at this. The public saw this concept art, they thought this game was going to be insane. But when the game did come out, they were disappointed that the game was not as dark as the concept art appeared to be. Former Junction Point staff spoke out about the concept art and said that it was never supposed to be revealed to the public. With the concept art, they were actually testing the waters on how far Disney would let them go on this project. That's why nowadays the game is looked at with more fondness, because people don't have outrageous expectations for it. but people still think Epic Mickey as a concept is awesome. The gameplay. The gameplay of Epic Mickey is a 3D platform with a mix of morality and player choice mechanics. Mickey's main tool in the game is a magic paintbrush, which uses paint and thinner. Paint creates platforms and befriends enemies. Thinner erases things in the world and also erases enemies. There are also these spirits which circle around Mickey, called guardians. What you do in the world depends on what guardians you attract. If you do good and paint the world around you, Mickey will attract tints, which are paint guardians. If you make bad choices and thin the world around you, you attract Turks, which are thinner guardians. These guardians are basically one-hit KOs for most enemies in the game. The enemies come in 5 types. Seers, which are blotlings that are an eyeball as a body and roll around like Sonic the Hedgehog. Spatters, which are normal foot soldier type enemies. Sweepers, which hurl at you buckets of thinner. Spladooshes, which are big enemies that need to be snuck past or they blow up. And slobbers, which basically act as mini bosses for the player. There is also a subclass of enemies called Beetleworks, which are robots created by the Mad Doctor. They come in 3 types. Hopper, which is a small one-legged robot. Spinners, which have spinning saws. And tankers, which shoot out paint and thinner. The main difference between these 2 classes of enemies is the blotlings you can get on your side, where the Beetleworks you cannot. In the game, there are 2 main types of collectibles, pins and film reels. Pins you find throughout the world while exploring. Some pins are special depending on how you deal with a boss or a side quest. Film reels can be collected in the projector levels based off of old Mickey cartoons. These film reels can grant you upgrades, and also 2 old Disney cartoons. Most of the side quests in the game are fetch quests. They're a bit tedious, but they do connect you more to these forgotten characters. The mechanics of the gameplay of Epic Mickey definitely set apart from the other platformers and makes Epic Mickey stand out from other 3D platformers. All these cool story elements and gameplay, why has the Epic Mickey series been dormant for some time now? Well, because Disney not being happy with the sales of Epic Mickey 2 and with their gaming division going in a new direction, Disney shut down Junction Point, the studio that made Epic Mickey. Because of this, the Epic Mickey franchise was left in a state of limbo for 11 years. Then a rumor started to float around that a remake of the original game for the Nintendo Switch. Then, in February 24, that rumor and dream for many people came true. Epic Mickey Rebrushed, a remake of the original game, was announced. Leads us where we are today, in the excitement of waiting for its release. Conclusion. Now you know what this amazing game Epic Mickey is all about. And also, if people ask, what happened? Know that too. So I hope you enjoyed this video and go check out Epic Mickey for yourself, and especially once the remake comes out. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe. Please subscribe, please make sure to press the notification bell. And once you press the notification bell, please make sure to press all so you can notified every time I upload a video to this channel. I will say what I always say. Peace, Rocket456, and take care. And I hope I see you in Wasteland.